Let me ask you something. Who's really in control of your life? Is it you or is it your emotions? Because here's the truth. Life is going to throw storms at you. Stress, setbacks, uncertainty. It's all coming whether you like it or not. But the difference between those who crumble and those who rise, it's the mindset they've trained. When you master your mind, nothing can shake you. Not fear, not doubt, not chaos. You don't just react, you own every situation. So today, we're going to rewire your brain, break the cycle of stress, and build an unshakable, unstoppable you. Your mind is your greatest asset. Everything you experience in life, success, failure, happiness, or stress, comes down to how you think. The way you process situations, the way you react to challenges, and the way you handle emotions all stem from your mindset. Some people go through life at the mercy of their thoughts, controlled by fear, doubt, and anxiety. Others train their minds to be their greatest ally, a tool that works for them rather than against them. The question is, which one are you? The ability to stay calm in any situation is not about avoiding problems. It's about mastering the way you think so that no matter what life throws at you, you remain in control. Think about the most successful, powerful individuals in history. They didn't have an easy road. They faced challenges, uncertainty, and setbacks, but what set them apart was their ability to remain calm, focused, and strategic. Even in the middle of chaos, they understood that in moments of pressure, the person who controls their mind controls the outcome. Your mind determines your reality. If you train it to see problems as threats, you'll always feel under attack. You'll react emotionally, make rushed decisions, and allow fear to dictate your choices. But if you train your mind to see challenges as opportunities for growth, you become unstoppable. You develop a level of resilience that keeps you grounded no matter what happens. Think about a time when you let stress consume you. Maybe it was a work deadline, a personal crisis, or an unexpected problem. How did you react? Did you panic, overthink, or shut down? Now imagine if you had trained your mind to stay calm in that moment. What if, instead of feeling overwhelmed, you had been able to take a deep breath, assess the situation with clarity, and find the best course of action? That's the difference between letting your mind control you and you controlling your mind. The way you think is like a muscle. If you don't train it, it weakens. But if you put in the effort, you can build an unshakable mindset. The first step is becoming aware of your thoughts. Most people live on autopilot, allowing negative thoughts to spiral without even realizing it. They feed their minds with doubt, fear, and worst-case scenarios, and then wonder why they feel anxious all the time. You need to interrupt that pattern. The moment you catch yourself thinking in a way that doesn't serve you, stop, shift your focus, replace negative self-talk with empowering beliefs. This isn't about ignoring reality, it's about choosing a perspective that makes you stronger. If you're facing a tough situation, you have two choices. You can either let it break you, or you can decide that you will handle it. Your mind will believe whatever you tell it repeatedly. So if you tell yourself, I can't handle this, your brain will accept that as truth. But if you tell yourself, I've got this, I will find a way, your brain will work to make that your reality. Another crucial element of mental strength is emotional discipline. Emotions are powerful, but they are not always reliable. If you react to every situation based on how you feel in the moment, you lose control. The strongest people in the world do not act based on emotions alone. They act based on strategy. That doesn't mean ignoring your feelings. It means mastering them. The next time you feel overwhelmed, ask yourself, is this emotion helping me or is it holding me back? If it's not serving you, shift your state. Breathe. Stand tall. Focus on a solution. Your physiology plays a massive role in how you think and feel. If you are slouched, breathing shallowly, and tensing your body, your brain will register stress. But if you straighten your posture, take deep breaths, and move with energy, you signal confidence to your mind. One of the fastest ways to shift your mental state is to shift your body. Try this. The next time you feel anxious or frustrated, change your physical state. Stand up, take a powerful stance, and breathe deeply. Notice how your mind starts to calm down almost instantly. Another way to train your mind is through visualization. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a real experience and one you vividly imagine. If you constantly visualize stress and failure, your brain will prepare for that outcome. But if you visualize yourself staying calm, handling challenges with ease, and finding solutions, your brain will start to make that a reality. Every morning, take a few minutes to see yourself as the person you want to be. Strong, confident, and in control. One of the most important things you can do is reframe how you see stress. Most people believe stress is harmful, something to be avoided, but stress is simply energy. It's how you interpret it that makes the difference. When faced with pressure, instead of saying this is too much, say this is an opportunity to grow. Train yourself to see difficult moments as chances to develop mental toughness. The more you practice, the stronger you become. Finally, remember this: you are in control. No situation, no challenge, no external factor has the power to dictate your emotions unless you allow it. The key to staying calm in every situation is recognizing that your mind is your greatest tool. If you train it, you can handle anything life throws at you. If you let it run wild, you will always be at the mercy of your emotions. The choice is yours. Decide today to train your mind to work for you, not against you. Because the moment you do, you step into a level of power that most people never reach. And that is where true success begins. Emotional mastery is the key to success. It is not intelligence, talent, or luck that separates those who thrive from those who struggle. It is the ability to manage emotions in the face of challenges. Most people go through life reacting impulsively to situations, allowing their emotions to dictate their decisions. They get frustrated when things don't go their way, angry when they face obstacles, and overwhelmed when pressure mounts. But the truth is, success does not come from avoiding stress. It comes from learning how to navigate it with a calm and focused mind. Think about a time when you were under pressure. Maybe you had a deadline at work, an argument with a loved one, or an unexpected setback. How did you handle it? Did you let frustration take over? Did you act out of anger or stress? Or did you take control of your emotions and respond strategically? The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the absence of challenges. It's how they handle them. Every great leader, entrepreneur, top performer in any field has mastered the ability to stay calm and make rational decisions, no matter what is happening around them. They don't let emotions cloud their judgment. Instead, they train themselves to respond with clarity, confidence, and control. Because here's the truth: emotions are powerful, but they should not be in the driver's seat. If you allow emotions to dictate your actions, you will always be at the mercy of external circumstances. But if you master your emotions, you master your life. So how do you do this? The first step is awareness. Most people don't even realize when their emotions are controlling them. They think their reactions are justified. I was angry, so I yelled, or I was stressed, so I shut down. But justifying emotional reactions only reinforces the habit of losing control. Instead, start paying attention to your triggers. Notice what situations make you feel stressed, anxious, or angry. When you catch yourself reacting emotionally, pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this reaction helping me or hurting me? By simply becoming aware of your emotional responses, you create space to choose a better one. The second step is reprogramming your mind. Emotions are largely influenced by the way you think. If you constantly focus on problems, worst-case scenarios, or things outside of your control, you will always feel stressed. But if you train yourself to focus on solutions, opportunities, and what you can control, you will develop a sense of inner stability. This is what successful people do. They don't waste time dwelling on what went wrong. They immediately shift into problem-solving mode. And because of that, they stay calm even under the highest pressure. One powerful technique to help with emotional mastery is changing your self-talk. Your brain believes whatever you tell it repeatedly. If you keep telling yourself, I can't handle this, or this is too much, your mind will accept that as truth and your emotions will follow. But if you start telling yourself, I am in control, or I will figure this out, your mind will shift and your emotions will become more stable. Your thoughts create your reality, and mastering your emotions starts with mastering your inner dialogue. Another key factor in emotional mastery is controlling your physiology. Your emotions are not just in your mind, they are in your body. When you are stressed, your shoulders tense up, your breathing becomes shallow, and your heart rate increases. This physical response sends a signal to your brain that you are in danger, which only intensifies the emotional reaction. But the moment you shift your body, stand up straight, take deep breaths, relax your muscles, you send a new signal to your brain, I am in control. The fastest way to change your emotions is to change your physical state. One of the greatest skills you can develop is learning to use stress to your advantage. Most people see stress as a negative thing, something to avoid. But stress is just energy, and if you learn to harness it, you can use it as a driving force. Instead of letting stress make you feel overwhelmed, use it as fuel. When you feel pressure, shift your mindset from this is too much to this is a challenge that will make me stronger. This simple shift in perspective can completely transform the way you handle difficult situations. Another critical aspect of emotional mastery is learning to regulate your reactions. When things don't go as planned, most people immediately react with frustration, panic, or anger. But reacting emotionally rarely leads to the best outcome. Instead, train yourself to pause before responding. When something stressful happens, don't react instantly. Take a deep breath. Count to 3. This moment of pause allows your logical mind to step in, helping you respond in a way that serves you instead of making the situation worse. The truth is, you will never be able to control everything that happens in life. Unexpected problems will come, challenges will arise, people will test your patience, but you always have control over one thing, your response. And the ability to control your response is the key to mastering your emotions and ultimately mastering your success. Successful people do not let external situations dictate their internal state. They decide how they want to feel, and they train themselves to stay in control no matter what. They don't waste time complaining about what's wrong. They don't let fear stop them from taking action. They focus on what they can control, and they channel their energy into solutions. This is why they thrive while others struggle. So starting today, make the decision to take control of your emotions. When stress hits, pause. When you feel overwhelmed, shift your focus. When things don't go your way, reframe the situation as an opportunity to grow. Train yourself every single day to stay calm and focused, no matter what happens, because the person who controls their emotions controls their destiny. And that person can be you. Rewiring your reactions is one of the most powerful things you can do to take control of your life. Most people go through life reacting automatically to situations without even realizing they have a choice in how they respond. They get triggered, they get upset, they lash out, they shut down, and then they wonder why they keep facing the same problems. But here's the truth. Your reactions are not set in stone. They are habits. And like any habit, they can be changed. If you want to be unshakable in any situation, you must train yourself to respond differently. Think about it. How many times have you regretted a reaction? Maybe you snapped at someone in anger, made a decision based on fear, or let frustration take over and ruin your day. In the moment, it might have felt justified, but looking back, you probably wished you had handled it better. That's because when you react impulsively, you're not in control. Your emotions are. And when emotions take over, logic takes a backseat. That's why successful, powerful people don't let their emotions dictate their responses. They pause, they assess, and they respond in a way that benefits them rather than harms them. The first step to rewiring your reactions is awareness. You cannot change what you do not recognize. Start paying attention to your triggers. What situations tend to set you off? What emotions make you act impulsively? The next time you feel yourself reacting instinctively, catch yourself. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself that you have a choice. Most people believe that emotions happen to them, but in reality, emotions are signals. They are messages from your brain telling you how you're interpreting a situation. If you change your interpretation, you change your emotional response. For example, if someone cuts you off in traffic, your instinct might be to get angry, honk, and yell. But why? Because you perceive it as a personal attack, as if the driver intentionally disrespected you. But what if you rewired your response? What if, instead of assuming the worst, you assumed they were in a rush to the hospital or they simply made a mistake? That shift in perspective would change your emotional state, and instead of reacting with anger, you would stay calm. The situation hasn't changed, but your reaction has. That's the power of rewiring your mind. Another crucial aspect of rewiring your reactions is mastering the art of the pause. Most people react instantly. Someone says something rude, they snap back. They get bad news, they immediately panic. But reacting in the heat of the moment rarely leads to the best outcome. Train yourself to pause before responding. When something triggers you, take 3 seconds before saying or doing anything. In those 3 seconds, take a deep breath, check your emotions, and ask yourself, what response will serve me best in this situation? Those few seconds can be the difference between making a smart decision or a regrettable one. One of the most effective ways to change your reactions is to reprogram your thoughts. Your reactions are largely influenced by the beliefs you hold. If you believe that mistakes are failures, you will react to them with frustration and self-doubt. But if you believe that mistakes are lessons, you will react with curiosity and a willingness to learn. If you believe that challenges are unfair burdens, you will react with stress and resentment. But if you believe that challenges are opportunities to grow stronger, You will respond with determination and confidence. Your mind will always look for evidence to support your beliefs, so choose beliefs that empower you rather than limit you. One practical exercise to rewire your reactions is visualization. Every morning, spend a few minutes mentally rehearsing how you want to respond in different situations. Imagine yourself staying calm under pressure, handling criticism with confidence, and responding to challenges with clarity. The more you visualize yourself reacting the way you want to, the more natural it will become in real life. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined one, so use that to your advantage. Train your mind through repetition, and soon your new responses will become automatic. Another powerful tool for changing your reactions is changing your language. The words you use shape your emotional state. If you constantly say, "This is stressful," or "I can't handle this," your brain will reinforce those beliefs and your reactions will reflect them. But if you start using empowering language like, "This is a challenge," and "I'll figure it out," or "I am in control of my emotions," you rewire your brain to respond differently. The way you talk to yourself matters. Speak in a way that supports the person you want to become. It's also important to control your physiology. Your body and mind are deeply connected, and the way you carry yourself affects your emotional responses. If you're tense, breathing shallowly, and clenching your jaw, your brain will interpret that as stress and reinforce negative reactions. But if you relax your shoulders, take deep breaths, and stand confidently, you send a message to your brain that you are calm and in control. The next time you feel yourself about to react negatively, check your body, adjust your posture, take a deep breath, and watch how it changes your emotional state. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming that changing their reactions means suppressing their emotions. But that's not the goal. The goal is to acknowledge your emotions without letting them control you. It's about feeling frustration but choosing patience, feeling fear but choosing courage, feeling doubt but choosing action. Emotional mastery is not about eliminating emotions, it's about using them as tools rather than letting them use you. At the end of the day, you have a choice in every moment. You can react impulsively and let emotions dictate your actions, or you can pause, shift your perspective, and respond in a way that aligns with your goals. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Over time, the reactions that once felt automatic, anger, frustration, panic, will be replaced with calm, confidence, and clarity. And when you reach that point, you will realize that true power is not about controlling the world around you, it's about controlling how you respond to it. The ability to maintain a calm and clear mind is one of the most valuable skills you can develop. In life, challenges are inevitable. Unexpected problems, difficult people, and high-pressure situations will come your way, but how you respond determines everything. Most people allow their emotions to control them. They panic when things don't go as planned, react impulsively when faced with obstacles, and let frustration dictate their decision. But those who achieve real success, whether in business, relationships, or personal growth, understand that staying calm under pressure is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's a skill that can be trained, and when mastered, it becomes your greatest advantage. Think about a time when you lost control emotionally. Maybe it was an argument where you said things you later regretted, or a stressful situation where you made a rushed decision that didn't serve you. In the moment, emotions took over and logic faded into the background. Now imagine if you had remained calm in that moment, if you had paused, taken a breath, and responded with clarity instead of reacting emotionally. The outcome would have been different. The stress, the regret, the unnecessary conflict, it all could have been avoided. This is why training your mind to stay calm is essential. It prevents problems before they even start and allows you to navigate challenges with confidence and control. Calmness is not about ignoring reality or pretending problems don't exist. It's about approaching situations with a clear and focused mind so that you can make the best possible decisions. When you are calm, you think more clearly, act more strategically, and find solutions faster. When you panic, you make mistakes, overreact, and often make things worse than they actually are. The difference between someone who succeeds and someone who struggles is often their ability to stay calm and composed when everything around them is chaotic. Your mind is like a muscle. It becomes stronger with training. If you allow stress and emotions to control you, your ability to stay calm weakens over time. But if you practice staying calm in difficult situations, it becomes second nature. One way to train this skill is by deliberately exposing yourself to small challenges and practicing control. When you feel irritation rising, whether it's in traffic, dealing with a rude person, or handling a minor inconvenience, Use it as an opportunity to train your mind. Take a deep breath, slow down your thoughts, and choose a response that aligns with the person you want to be. These small moments add up, and over time, your ability to remain calm will become unshakable. Another way to build a calm mind is by shifting your perspective on stress. Most people see stress as a negative force, something to avoid or escape from. But stress is simply energy. It's neither good nor bad. It's how you interpret it that matters. When faced with pressure, instead of thinking this is too much, shift your mindset to this is making me stronger. Every challenge is an opportunity to train your mind, to prove to yourself that you can handle anything. The more you reframe stress as a training ground for resilience, the less power it has over you. Breathing is one of the fastest ways to bring your mind back to a state of calm. When you're stressed, your breathing becomes shallow and rapid, which signals to your brain that you are in danger, even if you're not. But when you take slow, deep breaths, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which tells your body that you are safe. The next time you feel yourself getting overwhelmed, stop and take 5 deep breaths. Inhale slowly through your nose, hold for a few seconds, and exhale even slower. This simple technique can reset your nervous system and bring you back to a state of clarity. Another key to maintaining a calm mind is focusing only on what you can control. Stress often comes from trying to control things that are beyond our power. Other people's opinions, unexpected circumstances, or the outcome of situations. But when you shift your focus to what you can control, your attitude, your effort, and your responses, you take back your power. No matter what happens, you always have control over how you respond. And when you focus on that, external chaos has less impact on your inner peace. Visualization is a powerful tool for staying calm under pressure. Your brain doesn't distinguish between real experiences and vividly imagined ones. If you constantly imagine stressful situations going badly, your mind will prepare for that outcome. But if you visualize yourself staying calm and handling challenges with confidence, your brain will start wiring itself to make that your reality. Every day, take a few minutes to see yourself as the person you want to be, calm, composed, and in control. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Your environment also plays a significant role in your mental state. If you are constantly surrounded by negativity, whether it's toxic people, stressful news, or environments filled with chaos, your mind will absorb that energy. But if you create an environment that supports calmness, your mind will naturally follow. This means being mindful of what you consume, who you spend time with, and how you design your surroundings. Spend time in places that bring you peace, engage in activities that center you, and limit exposure to unnecessary negativity. The calmer your environment, the easier it becomes to maintain a calm mind. At the core of all of this is self-discipline. Calmness is a skill, and like any skill, it requires practice and commitment. There will be moments when emotions try to take over, when stress tries to break your focus, when challenges test your patience. But in those moments, remind yourself of your training. Remind yourself that you are in control, that no situation has the power to dictate your emotions unless you allow it. With time and practice, calmness will become your default state, and you will move through life with a level of confidence and clarity that most people never achieve. When you train your mind to be calm in every situation, you gain an incredible advantage. You make better decisions, build stronger relationships, and create a life of control rather than chaos. No matter what happens around you, you remain steady. And when you reach that level of mastery, you don't just survive challenges, you thrive in them. Mastering your emotions starts with understanding that external events do not dictate your feelings. Your interpretation of them does. Most people go through life believing that situations or other people are responsible for how they feel. They think this person made me angry or this situation is making me stressed. But the truth is, no one and nothing can make you feel a certain way unless you allow it. Your emotions are not controlled by the outside world. They are controlled by the meaning you assign to experiences. When you take full responsibility for your emotional state, you take back your power. Imagine two people facing the same difficult situation. Maybe they both lose a job unexpectedly. One person reacts with panic, feeling like a failure, drowning in stress and anxiety. The other sees it as an opportunity, a push to pursue something better, and remains calm while planning their next move. The event is the same, but the emotional response is completely different. Why? Because their interpretation of the event is different. The first person sees job loss as the end of security, while the second sees it as the beginning of new possibilities. This proves that it's not what happens to you that matters, it's how you choose to see it. Reframing situations is one of the most powerful ways to master your emotions. When something happens that triggers a negative emotional response, stop and ask yourself, what else could this mean? Instead of immediately reacting with frustration, fear, or anger, challenge your initial interpretation. Maybe that obstacle isn't a setback, it's a lesson. Maybe that failure isn't the end, it's a redirection. The way you label experiences determines the way you feel about them. Change the label and you change the emotion. Your emotions are deeply connected to the questions you ask yourself in difficult situations. People who struggle emotionally tend to ask disempowering questions like, why is this happening to me? Or what if everything goes wrong? These questions lead to feelings of helplessness, anxiety, and frustration. But successful people who have mastered their emotions ask different questions, ones that put them in control. They ask, what can I learn from this? Or how can I use this to grow? These types of questions shift focus from problems to solutions, from stress to strength. The mind always finds answers to the questions it is asked, so if you want better emotional control, ask better questions. Your focus also plays a huge role in emotional mastery. Whatever you focus on expands. If you constantly focus on what's wrong, on what you don't have, on worst-case scenarios, your emotions will reflect that. But if you shift your focus to what you can control, what is working, and what actions you can take, you will feel more empowered. You always have a choice in where you direct your attention, and that choice determines your emotional state. When stress or negativity creeps in, consciously redirect your focus. Train yourself to look for solutions instead of problems, opportunities instead of obstacles, gratitude instead of lack. Over time, this habit rewires your brain to default to a more positive and productive emotional state. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming that their emotions are permanent, that if they feel sad, frustrated, or anxious, they are stuck in that state. But emotions are temporary and they change the moment you change your mental or physical state. Your physiology, how you move, breathe, and hold your body, has a direct impact on how you feel. If you slump your shoulders, breathe shallowly, and speak in a low, tired tone, your brain will associate that posture with feeling down. But if you stand tall, take deep breaths, and move with energy, your brain will shift to a more positive state. You can change your emotions in an instant just by changing how you use your body. Another critical aspect of mastering emotions is eliminating emotional triggers that do not serve you. Many people expose themselves to negativity every day, whether it's toxic news, draining social media, or interactions with people who constantly complain. They don't realize that their environment is shaping their emotional state. If you are constantly surrounded by negativity, your mind will absorb it. But if you deliberately create an environment that promotes peace, focus, and positivity, emotional stability becomes much easier. Be selective about what you allow into your mental space. Protect your energy by surrounding yourself with people, media, and activities that support your emotional well-being. Daily habits play a massive role in emotional mastery. The way you start your day, the routines you follow, and the thoughts you feed your mind all set the tone for how you handle challenges. If you wake up and immediately check stressful news or social media, you are starting your day in a reactive state. But if you start with a morning routine that includes movement, mindfulness, and positive input, whether it's reading, journaling, or affirmations, you build emotional resilience before the day even begins. The more intentional you are with your daily habits, the more control you gain over your emotions. It's also essential to recognize that emotional mastery does not mean suppressing emotions. It's not about pretending negative emotions don't exist. It's about acknowledging them without letting them control you. When a difficult emotion arises, instead of resisting it, observe it. Ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to tell me? Maybe frustration is telling you that you need to set better boundaries. Maybe anxiety is reminding you to prepare more. Maybe sadness is signaling that something needs to change. Emotions are messages. The key is to listen to them, learn from them, and then decide how to respond in a way that aligns with your goals. At the end of the day, emotional mastery is about taking ownership of how you feel. It's about refusing to let external events or other people dictate your emotional state. It's about making a conscious decision every day to control your focus, shift your perspective, and choose responses that empower you. When you master your emotions, you master your life. You become unshakable in the face of challenges. You develop the ability to remain calm, clear-headed, and confident no matter what happens. And when you reach that level, you don't just react to life, you take charge of it. Your mind is a battlefield, and the way you train it determines whether you emerge victorious or defeated in life's challenges. The world around you is unpredictable. Stress, setbacks, and unexpected difficulties will always come your way. But what truly matters is how you respond to them. Training your mind to remain calm is not about avoiding problems. It's about strengthening your ability to navigate them with clarity and control. Mental strength is built through consistent effort, just like physical strength. You don't go to the gym once and expect to be in peak condition. You train regularly to build endurance and power. The same principle applies to your mind. If you want to be unshakable, you must commit to daily mental training that conditions you to remain calm under any circumstance. One of the most effective ways to train your mind is through mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment without being overwhelmed by emotions or external pressures. Most people live in a constant state of mental chaos, either dwelling on past mistakes or worrying about future uncertainties. This lack of focus drains energy and increases stress. But when you train your mind to stay present, you free yourself from unnecessary anxiety and gain the ability to respond to situations with clarity. Practicing mindfulness doesn't require hours of meditation. It can be as simple as taking a few minutes each day to breathe deeply and focus entirely on the present. The more you train your mind to remain centered, the more natural it becomes to stay calm in high-pressure situations. Your internal dialogue plays a critical role in shaping your mental state. Most people allow negative thoughts to run unchecked in their minds, reinforcing stress, fear, and self-doubt. If you constantly tell yourself, "I can't handle this," or "this is too much," your brain will accept those statements as truth. But when you deliberately replace negative self-talk with empowering beliefs, you rewire your mind for resilience. Instead of saying, "I'm overwhelmed," shift your language to, "I am in control of my emotions, and I can handle any challenge that comes my way." Your thoughts create your reality. Training your mind means becoming intentional about the words you allow to shape your inner world. Speak to yourself as you would to a close friend. Encouraging, confident, and solution-focused. Repetition is the foundation of mental conditioning. The way you react in difficult situations is a reflection of the habits you've built over time. If you repeatedly allow stress to consume you, it becomes your default response. But if you consistently practice remaining calm, even in minor inconveniences, your mind becomes trained to handle bigger challenges with ease. Every time you catch yourself reacting emotionally, pause, take a deep breath, remind yourself of your training, and choose a response that aligns with your goal of staying composed. The more you practice this, the stronger your mental discipline becomes. Another powerful mental training technique is visualization. Your brain doesn't distinguish between real experiences and vividly imagined ones. High performers in every field, athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders, use visualization to prepare their minds for success. If you want to train your mind to stay calm, spend time each day visualizing yourself, handling stressful situations with confidence and control. See yourself facing a challenge, remaining calm, thinking clearly, and making the right decisions. The more you mentally rehearse calmness, the more your brain accepts it as your natural state. When the actual moment arrives, your mind will respond as it has been trained to. Breath control is a direct way to influence your mental state. When you're stressed, your breathing becomes shallow, sending signals to your brain that you are in danger. This triggers the fight or flight response, making it harder to think rationally. But when you slow down your breathing, you activate your body's relaxation response, instantly bringing your mind back to a state of calm. One simple but powerful technique is the 4-7-8 breathing method. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. Practicing this regularly trains your nervous system to stay composed even in high-pressure moments. Your environment plays a significant role in your mental conditioning. If you are constantly surrounded by negativity, whether it's stressful news, toxic relationships, or chaotic surroundings, your mind absorbs that energy. Training your mind to stay calm means being intentional about what you expose yourself to. Choose to spend time in environments that promote focus and peace. Limit exposure to things that drain your energy and create unnecessary stress. Just as an athlete carefully selects their training environment to optimize performance, you must shape your surroundings to support a calm and powerful mind. One of the most overlooked aspects of mental training is physical movement. The mind and body are deeply connected, and how you move affects how you think and feel. Regular exercise is one of the best ways to train your mind to stay calm because it releases endorphins, reduces stress hormones, and strengthens mental resilience. Even a short walk, a workout, or stretching can shift your emotional state and improve mental clarity. If you ever feel overwhelmed, change your physical state. Stand up, stretch, go for a walk. This simple action can reset your mind almost instantly. Another critical part of mental training is learning to detach from the need for immediate control. Most stress comes from trying to control things that are beyond your power, other people's actions, unexpected events, or the outcome of situations. The reality is, no matter how much you plan, life will always bring uncertainty. True mental strength comes from accepting that uncertainty is part of life and focusing only on what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, and your responses. When you train your mind to let go of what is outside your control, you free yourself from unnecessary worry and stress. At the core of all mental training is discipline. Staying calm is not something that just happens, it is a choice. Reinforced through practice and consistency, there will be moments when emotions try to take over, when pressure feels overwhelming, when challenges seem insurmountable. But in those moments, you have the power to decide how you will respond. You can either fall into old habits of stress and reaction, or you can step into the version of yourself that is strong, composed, and unshakable. Every time you choose calmness, you strengthen your mental muscle. When you commit to training your mind every day, you develop a level of control that most people never achieve. You become the kind of person who remains steady no matter what is happening around you. You handle challenges with clarity, move through life with confidence, and maintain a sense of peace even in chaos. And when you reach that level, nothing can shake you, because you have built a mind that is stronger than any obstacle life can throw your way. The way you react to life's challenges is not something that happens randomly. It's a result of how your mind has been conditioned over time. Every experience, every reaction, and every thought pattern has shaped the way you handle stress, pressure, and uncertainty. If you want to train your mind to stay calm in every situation, you must become aware of how you've been programmed and take control of your mental conditioning. Most people go through life reacting automatically, letting emotions dictate their responses without questioning whether those responses actually serve them. But when you develop self-awareness and take charge of your mental habits, you gain the power to rewrite your emotional programming and build a mind that remains calm and unshaken no matter what happens around you. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to stay calm is that they don't take the time to understand their triggers. Triggers are specific situations, words, or experiences that automatically provoke an emotional response. Maybe criticism makes you defensive. Maybe uncertainty fills you with anxiety. Maybe unexpected changes frustrate you. These reactions are often unconscious, built from past experiences and reinforced through repetition. But just because you've reacted a certain way in the past doesn't mean you have to keep reacting that way. The moment you become aware of your triggers, you gain the power to break free from them. Instead of letting them control you, you can train yourself to respond differently. Self-awareness means observing your emotions without getting lost in them. Instead of reacting immediately when you feel stressed, frustrated, or overwhelmed, take a step back. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling this way? Is my reaction helping me or hurting me? Most of the time, emotions feel automatic because we don't question them. But the moment you bring awareness to an emotion, you create space between yourself and the feeling. That space gives you the power to choose your response instead of reacting impulsively. One of the best ways to train self-awareness is through journaling. Writing down your thoughts, emotions, and experiences helps you recognize patterns in your thinking. When you consistently reflect on your reactions, you begin to see which situations trigger stress and which thought patterns lead to negativity. Over time, this practice helps you gain a deeper understanding of your mind, allowing you to break free from automatic emotional reactions and develop intentional control over your responses. Another powerful way to develop self-awareness is by observing your thoughts like an outsider. Imagine your mind as a theater where thoughts appear on a screen. Instead of getting caught up in those thoughts, step back and simply observe them. Notice what kinds of thoughts dominate your mind. Are they empowering or limiting? Are they focused on solutions or problems? By becoming an observer of your mind rather than a prisoner of it, you gain the ability to shift your mental state whenever necessary. People who remain calm in every situation have trained themselves to detach from their thoughts and emotions. They understand that thoughts are not facts. Just because a negative thought enters your mind doesn't mean it's true. Similarly, emotions are temporary. They come and go, and they don't define you. When you separate yourself from your emotions, you can experience them without letting them control you. Instead of saying, I am stressed, say, I am experiencing stress right now, but it will pass. This small shift in language creates a huge shift in power. Instead of identifying with the emotion, you recognize it as something external that you can influence. Another key part of self-awareness is recognizing the stories you tell yourself. Every person has an internal narrative that shapes their perception of reality. Some people tell themselves, I'm always stressed, I can't handle pressure, or things never work out for me. These stories become self-fulfilling prophecies. But people who remain calm have trained themselves to tell different stories. They say, I can handle anything life throws at me, I always find solutions, and every challenge is an opportunity to grow. The more you reinforce a certain belief, the more your brain accepts it as truth. Training your mind to stay calm starts with rewriting the internal stories that shape your emotional responses. The ability to remain calm is also deeply connected to how well you understand your own needs. Many people struggle with emotional control because they are mentally exhausted, physically drained, or overwhelmed by too many responsibilities. They push themselves to the limit without taking time to recharge, and then they wonder why they feel so stressed all the time. But people who have mastered the art of staying calm understand that mental clarity requires intentional self-care. They make time for rest, prioritize activities that bring them joy, and set boundaries to protect their peace. A tired mind is a reactive mind, but a well-rested mind is capable of staying calm even in the midst of chaos. Another critical part of self-awareness is understanding that not every problem requires an immediate reaction. Many people make impulsive decisions because they feel pressured to respond instantly to every challenge. But the reality is most situations don't require immediate action. They require thoughtful consideration. People who remain calm have trained themselves to pause before reacting. They take a breath, assess the situation, and respond only when they are in a clear and balanced state of mind. This simple habit prevents unnecessary stress, mistakes, and regret. At the highest level of self-awareness, you reach a point where external circumstances no longer dictate your inner peace. You realize that no matter what happens in the outside world, you always have control over how you respond. Instead of being thrown off balance by challenges, you see them as opportunities to test and strengthen your mental training. Instead of letting emotions control you, you become the master of your own mind. Training yourself to stay calm in every situation is not something that happens overnight. It requires daily practice, self-reflection, and a commitment to self-improvement. There will be moments when you slip back into old habits, when emotions get the best of you, or when stress feels overwhelming. But every time you catch yourself, every time you pause instead of reacting, every time you choose calmness over chaos, you strengthen your mental discipline. Over time, these small victories add up, transforming the way you handle every aspect of your life. When you develop self-awareness and train your mind to stay calm, you gain a level of control that few people ever achieve. You stop being a victim of circumstances and become the creator of your own emotional state. You move through life with confidence, clarity, and resilience. And most importantly, you discover that true power doesn't come from controlling the outside world, it comes from mastering your own mind. When you train your mind to be calm in every situation, you unlock a level of power that most people never experience. It's not about ignoring reality or pretending that challenges don't exist. It's about cultivating a state of mind that allows you to navigate difficulties with clarity, confidence, and control. True inner peace is not something you find. It's something you create through deliberate effort and discipline. It's a skill that must be developed just like strength in the gym or expertise in any craft. The more you practice, the stronger your ability to remain unshaken in any circumstance. One of the most powerful tools for maintaining calm is the ability to shift perspective. Most stress and anxiety come from how we interpret events, not from the events themselves. Two people can face the same situation and have completely different emotional responses based on their mindset. Imagine a traffic jam. One person sits there fuming, frustrated, and impatient, while another uses the time to listen to an audiobook, reflect, or simply breathe deeply. The situation is identical, but the response is entirely different. This is proof that stress is not caused by external circumstances, but by our internal reactions. When you learn to shift your perspective, you free yourself from unnecessary emotional suffering. A key component of mental calmness is acceptance. Many people waste an enormous amount of energy resisting reality, complaining about things they cannot change, wishing circumstances were different, or dwelling on past mistakes. But the truth is, resistance only creates more stress. The moment you accept what is, you take back your power. Acceptance doesn't mean passivity or giving up. It means recognizing reality as it is and then choosing your response from a place of strength rather than frustration. When you accept that challenges, setbacks, and uncertainties are a natural part of life, you stop fighting against them and start working with them. This shift allows you to remain calm and focused even in the face of adversity. Another major factor in staying calm is the ability to detach emotionally from situations that do not serve you. Many people are consumed by the opinions of others, the fear of failure, or the pressure to meet external expectations. But when you base your inner peace on things outside your control, you make yourself vulnerable to constant emotional turmoil. The solution is to cultivate a sense of detachment, not in a cold or indifferent way, but in a way that allows you to remain centered no matter what happens around you. When you stop seeking validation from others and start trusting yourself, you build a level of calm that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. A calm mind is also a disciplined mind. If you allow distractions, negativity, and emotional reactions to control you, your mind becomes chaotic. But when you train yourself to focus only on what truly matters, you create a sense of inner stability that keeps you grounded in any situation. Discipline is not about rigid control. It's about choosing what deserves your energy and what does not. It's about setting boundaries, protecting your peace, and prioritizing your mental well-being. The more disciplined you are with your thoughts and actions, the more effortlessly you maintain a state of calm, no matter what life throws at you. Your emotional state is deeply influenced by your habits. If you constantly expose yourself to negativity, whether through social media, toxic relationships, or negative self-talk, you condition your mind to be reactive and stressed. But if you cultivate habits that reinforce peace, such as mindfulness, exercise, journaling, or gratitude, you train your mind to default to calmness. Your daily routines either strengthen or weaken your ability to remain composed under pressure. This is why high performers in every field have structured routines that keep them mentally sharp and emotionally stable. They don't wait for calmness to appear, they create it through consistent practice. Another essential element of staying calm is trust. Trust in yourself, trust in your ability to handle whatever comes your way, and trust in the process of life. Many people live in a state of constant worry because they do not trust themselves to navigate challenges. They feel the need to control every detail, and when things don't go as planned, they panic. But when you develop trust, you no longer react impulsively to setbacks. You understand that challenges are temporary, that you have the ability to adapt, and that even difficult situations hold opportunities for growth. Trust allows you to move through life with a sense of ease, knowing that no matter what happens, you are capable of handling it. Ultimately, training your mind to remain calm is about taking full ownership of your emotional state. It's about recognizing that nothing and no one has the power to disturb your peace unless you allow it. It's about shifting from a reactive mindset to a proactive one, choosing your responses rather than being controlled by external events. When you reach this level of mastery, you no longer live at the mercy of circumstance. You don't just survive challenges, you thrive in them. You become unshakable, unstoppable, and in complete control of your inner world. And when you control your inner world, nothing in the outer world can break you.